They told you to wait, to be patient, to let life unfold. But what they didn't tell you is that greatness doesn't knock. It doesn't arrive politely or ask for permission. It explodes into reality the moment you decide you're ready to show up, fully, fiercely, and without apology. The shift happens not when everything is perfect, but when you're done waiting for perfect to come. You've seen them, the ones who seem to evolve endlessly, who rise while others remain rooted in the same place. It's not luck. It's not genetics. And no, it's not discipline alone. The real secret? It's in the small, uncomfortable choices most people avoid. That's the access point. That's the magic key. Growth never hides in comfort. It lives at the edge, where your excuses end and your courage begins. Comfort can feel like safety, like warmth, like home. But comfort is deceptive, because the longer you stay wrapped in it, the further you drift from who you're meant to become. Think of it. Every meaningful breakthrough in history began not with applause, but with tension. The first spark of electricity, the first note of a symphony, the first line of a masterpiece. None of it was born from ease. It was born from stepping into the unknown, from walking toward resistance rather than retreating from it. Your destiny is not sitting on your couch. It's not found in scrolling, waiting, wishing. It's found in the early morning when you get up even when it's hard, in the tough conversations you'd rather avoid, in the skill you're terrified to learn. That's where transformation lives. That's where your future is waiting. You weren't placed here to spectate. You were designed to rise, to climb, to break ground where others hesitate. You're carved from the same core as the pioneers, the visionaries, the icons who changed everything. The only difference, they embraced the friction. They leaned into the fire. So lean in. Choose the thing that feels unfamiliar. Choose the moment that stretches you. Choose the action that scares you just enough to know it matters. Because success doesn't dwell in the known. It waits beyond the boundary of your routine. Even the ancient texts echo it. Woe to those content in comfort. Because comfort numbs the calling. It softens your fire. And if you let it, it'll quietly talk you out of your own potential. But not you. Not now. Not anymore. There's a reason you feel pulled toward more. It's not fantasy. It's a memory of what you were born to become. The real you, the powerful, focused, unstoppable version, is not missing. It's just waiting for you to choose differently. You have goals, not just for show, not for social media, but because your soul remembers that you're meant for more. And those goals live just past the threshold of what's easy. So what if discomfort is not the enemy, but the compass? What if the resistance you've been avoiding is actually the direction toward everything you want? The answer is never in retreat. It's in movement. Forward, even if shaky. Forward, even if slow. Because forward is still progress. And with every brave decision, you inch closer to your evolution. And that evolution isn't reserved for the elite or the chosen. It's reserved for the willing, for the consistent, for the bold. This isn't about superpowers. This is about showing up when it's not glamorous. About saying yes when no one claps. About waking up when it would be easier to quit. You won't always feel ready, and that's exactly when you go, because the reward isn't in knowing everything. It's in trusting yourself enough to begin. Let's rewrite your story, not someday but now, because today is not just another page. It's the first chapter of a new volume, the one where you stop observing and start owning your path. This is where it all begins. Most people see struggle as a sign to stop, as proof that maybe they're not cut out for this path. But what if it's the opposite? What if the discomfort is not a signal of failure, but evidence that you're getting closer? Pain, in its truest form, isn't punishment. It's potential. It's the universe shaping you, chiseling away the unnecessary, carving out the version of you that can actually carry the dream. Think about it. No athlete gains strength without tension. No musician masters their instrument without endless hours of repetition. No trailblazer leaves a mark by staying in the lines. So, why should your journey be any different? Pain is not meant to paralyze you. It's meant to prepare you, to teach you, to forge within you a resilience deeper than motivation and louder than fear. Each setback, each delay, each hard day isn't breaking you. It's building you. It's bending you just enough to make you flexible, but never to make you fold. Because true strength is born under weight. Every time you think, "This is too much," remember this. That very thought is the threshold. Push past it, and something in you awakens. Something rare. Something immortal. The giants of history. They didn't rise because everything came easily. They rose because they stopped running from difficulty. They made peace with the struggle. They let it mold them, stretch them, sharpen them. You're not weak for feeling tired. You're not broken for needing time. But you are undeniably powerful for choosing to keep going when it would be easier to stop. The climb is part of the calling. When the days get heavy and the nights get silent, that's when champions are made. Not when the sun is shining, but when the storm hits and you still plant your feet. You're not being punished. You're being positioned. Every challenge is training. Every trial is a test of your endurance, your belief, your identity. And no lesson is wasted when you're willing to learn. You may not see the fruit yet, but the roots are growing. You may not hear applause, but your effort is echoing in eternity. Don't underestimate the quiet chapters. That's where the foundation is laid. Even history's boldest leaders, those who lit fires across generations, faced moments when quitting felt easier. But they didn't, and neither will you. Not because it's simple, but because it's sacred. This journey, your journey, is not about being untouched by difficulty. It's about being unmoved by it. It's about standing tall when nothing feels steady. About believing that what's on the other side of pain is always worth what it costs to get there. So stop asking for the road to be easier. Ask to be stronger. Ask for a heart that doesn't fold. For a spine that doesn't bend. For eyes that see the promise beyond the problem. Because once you stop resisting the fire and step into it, you stop burning out and start burning brighter. This is your proving ground. This is the heat where your character, your capacity, your conviction are refined. Let the pressure make you precise. Let the weight teach you how to rise. Let the pain remind you that you are still here, still breathing, still building. This isn't your breakdown. It's your becoming. You say you want it, the dream, the freedom, the fulfillment. But let me ask you something real. What are you trading for it? Because no goal comes without a cost. No vision becomes real without something being laid down in its place. The truth is, success isn't something you stumble into. It's something you exchange for. With your time, your focus, your habits, your comfort. And here's the hardest part. Most people don't fail because the dream was too big. They fail because the sacrifice felt too high. But if you're not sacrificing for it, you're probably sacrificing it, wasting the chance in tiny, comfortable choices that never demand your full potential. Legacy is never built on leisure. Greatness is never born from convenience. It's born from those who are willing to miss out in the short term to cash in on something long term. And the ones who rise the highest, they're the ones who gave up the most. They missed parties. They skipped shortcuts. They chose focus while the world chose distraction. They woke up when everyone else slept. Not because they loved the pain, but because they loved the purpose more. That's the secret few want to hear. You cannot indulge in distraction and expect to build something eternal. You can't chase approval and purpose at the same time. One will always cost the other. So count the cost. Count it with clarity. Count it with courage. Because once you know what it costs, you get to choose. Do I want this dream badly enough to pay for it? Not once. Not occasionally. Every single day. It's easy to want the outcome. harder to fall in love with the process. But that's where the transformation lives. Not in what you gain, but in who you become while earning it. Ask yourself, what are you willing to lay on the altar of your ambition? Is it comfort, procrastination, fear, the illusion of good enough? Because every goal comes with an invoice. And until you're ready to pay it, you're not ready to own it. And the price, it doesn't always look like struggle. Sometimes it looks like showing up when no one's watching, like choosing depth over distraction, like saying no to the easy thing so you can say yes to the necessary thing. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being willing. Willing to burn the bridges behind you. Willing to invest your energy where it matters. Willing to be misunderstood, unseen, even uncelebrated, as long as your work speaks louder than your comfort ever could. It's not about deprivation. It's about devotion. You're not losing. You're exchanging. You're not giving up. You're giving in to the version of you that's waiting on the other side of your current habits. You are the architect of your outcome. But bricks don't move themselves. Towers don't build without effort. Dreams don't land without labor. So build anyway. Trade anyway. Rise anyway. Let your results make the noise. Let your future thank you for the decisions you're making today, the ones no one sees, but everyone will one day recognize. The question isn't, can I do it? The real question is, what am I willing to give for it? Your answer defines your future. Every breakthrough begins with a decision, not about what you'll do, but about who you are, because you'll never live above the identity you hold. How you see yourself becomes your ceiling. If you view yourself as unworthy, as too late, too average, too small, the world will reflect that back to you. But if you dare to speak differently about yourself, to believe boldly in the possibility within you, the world won't have a choice but to adjust. Because identity drives behavior. Identity drives outcome. So here's the shift. You don't become confident after you achieve something. You become unstoppable the moment you decide that you already are. This isn't pretending. It's aligning. When you walk like someone who's called, doors open. When you act like someone with purpose, resistance gives way. When you speak like someone who believes, people listen, and more importantly, you listen. Because belief begins inside before it ever echoes outside. And right when you reach for more, when you're about to level up, fear shows up, not as a warning, as a signpost, as confirmation that you're getting close. Fear isn't real power. It's noise, a story, a shadow. It pretends to protect you, but really it holds you hostage. Not from danger, but from your destiny. Here's the truth. The fears that shout the loudest, they stand closest to the treasure. If you're afraid of failure, chances are that's exactly where you're meant to grow. If you fear embarrassment, that's probably the door to your next breakthrough. Fear doesn't show up when you're coasting. It only arrives when you're advancing. So let it come. Let it ride in the back seat. But never, ever give it the wheel. You weren't given fear to shrink you. You were given faith to stretch you. And faith doesn't wait for perfect conditions. It moves while the wind still howls. It builds when the path looks blurry. It acts not because everything is clear, but because purpose is louder than uncertainty. It's not about silencing fear. It's about moving anyway, about speaking even if your voice shakes, about standing up even if your knees tremble. Because when you stop obeying fear, you start owning freedom. This is your time to reclaim your narrative, to write your identity with purpose instead of permission. You are not defined by your past. You are not limited by your labels. You are not held back by your history. You are the author now. So, write like someone who's building a masterpiece. Speak like someone who's no longer afraid of their own power. Walk like someone who knows they're guided, equipped, and chosen. Because when your identity shifts, your entire reality moves with it. It's not the loudest people who make the biggest impact. It's not the most gifted. either. The true game changers, they're the ones who keep showing up, quietly, consistently, intentionally, long after the spotlight fades. Consistency is the silent force of greatness. Anyone can be impressive for a moment, but excellence isn't about intensity, it's about endurance. It's not what you do once that defines you. It's what you do over and over when nobody's watching. Because while others chase moments, masters build momentum. Think about it. Every masterpiece, every innovation, every legacy wasn't created in a rush of passion. It was carved out of rhythm, out of repetition, out of the grind that most people ignore because it's too boring. But boredom isn't the enemy. It's the gateway. When others quit because the novelty wears off, the great ones lean in. They understand. The repetition, the routine, the ritual. That's where identity is forged and dreams get traction. You don't need constant motivation. You need a system, a standard, a structure that pulls you forward, even when your feelings don't. Because emotions are fleeting. But habits, they hold power. And the best part, you don't need to get it all right. You just need to keep getting back up. You just need to keep building, brick by brick, day after day. Because small effort, repeated, becomes unshakable momentum. But consistency doesn't thrive in isolation. Your environment, your people, your spaces, your input, they either fuel your fire or smother it. Take inventory. Who do you surround yourself with? What do they normalize? Do they raise your standards or lower your focus? Because your circle is a mirror. It reflects what you'll tolerate and what you'll become. If you're around the complacent, mediocrity becomes your ceiling. But if you're near the relentless, excellence becomes your norm. You become what you're close to. So get close to discipline. Get near to hunger. Sit with the people who challenge you to be better, not just comfortable. Because proximity is power. And when you're around purpose, it wakes something up inside you. You don't need a bigger dream. You need a better alignment. Not louder applause, clearer direction. Protect your energy like treasure. Guard your space like legacy depends on it, because it does. The truth is, your habits and your circle are writing your future right now. Quietly, daily, automatically. So build wisely and walk intentionally. Let your morning routines speak louder than your Instagram captions. Let your actions outlast your doubts. Let your consistency become your credibility, because eventually the world will notice. Not because you shouted, but because your work became too powerful to ignore. You were not placed here by accident. You carry something no one else does. A voice, a vision, a fire uniquely yours. And whether you feel it burning yet or not, it's there waiting. Not to be discovered, but to be activated. See, destiny doesn't chase you. It waits for your decision. It's patient, relentless, always watching for the moment you finally say, I'm ready. Not when it's easy, not when it's clear, but when you decide to trust what's within you more than what surrounds you. There is no perfect moment. There is only the power of a made-up mind. You don't need a sign. You don't need approval. You don't need every answer lined up. What you need is a yes. A yes to the next step. A yes to the unknown. A yes to the work. The real, unglamorous, extraordinary work of walking in alignment with your higher calling. Purpose isn't passive. It doesn't fall in your lap. It demands presence. It requires pursuit. And that pursuit begins the moment you stop delaying and start deciding. You already know the direction. You've felt it in the quiet moments, in the unrest, in the flicker of inspiration you keep trying to explain away. That's the whisper of your assignment. It doesn't shout. It invites. But make no mistake, the price of ignoring it is far greater than the cost of following it. Your purpose might not look like anyone else's. It might not come with applause or headlines, but it matters. Because you matter. You've got seeds to plant that no one else can sow. You've got a path that may look ordinary, but will ripple through lives in ways you'll never fully see. So stop waiting for things to settle. Start trusting that everything you need is already in motion. As soon as you are, don't underestimate the weight of one choice, one new habit, one brave act, one refusal to go back to the old version of you. Because that one step, that's how legacies begin. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to move. The staircase won't appear until you take the first stair. And when fear shows up, as it always will, let it point you forward, not hold you back. Fear is loudest before the leap. That's how you know the moment matters. But courage is when you leap anyway. Because you're not here to blend in. You're here to break through, to lead with light, to build with intention, to finish strong. You are not chasing destiny. You're meeting it, step by step, choice by choice, day by day. And the best part? You're just getting started.